The afterlife tier list.
Do we continue to exist after the death?
Do we
of the
want
body?
captions? Yes or no?
And
Nobody has the same interest as you. If that's the case, then I will watch this alone. But I want to integrate this kind of stuff into my content. But I believe there are some people out there who has the same interest as me. If I'm the only person with my interest, do you know how rare I'd be? Do you know how rare someone would have to be to have like no one in the world like the same things as them?
if we do, what would that look like? I'm not suggesting that I know the answer to this question, and I also don't want to disparage any religious beliefs that help people come to terms with death. That's not really my bag. This video is
That's not
just
his
going to be
bag.
analyzing some of the possibilities and trying to figure out whether they're good or bad.
On Twitch, turn on captions. Excuse me. Never thought
You
about looking
die,
at people.
and that's it. Nothing. You cease to exist. Death is the permanent end of experience. Eternal.
Guys, what do y'all think comes after death? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. There's no wrong answers. Just have an opinion. It's okay to have one. Loki might be the only human on Earth to love bees, Gray, and Deltron all at once. I'm so sure there are someone else who likes those exact same things. If someone else experienced those exact same things, I'm sure there would be at least one other person who likes all three of those.
Nothingness. This is the most straightforward
Yes?
scenario.
So what do y'all think
Death
happens
is
after
the
death?
end.
This whole thing is like ranking what the possibilities. What do y'all hope happens? Let's say that. What do y'all
End
hope
of life.
happens?
So the idea that there is life after death is obviously false.
What the Bible says. See, I hope. See, there's that, but then there's like, bro, then you'll never know what happens on Earth, guys. I love to know. So there's part of me that would like, dude. There's a part of me that wishes I could live forever. But there's like, bro, you know how much knowledge I would put in my brain if I could live forever. I'd be able to do everything, everything.
Death is biologically programmed into us, and to an extent it's unavoidable. But maybe philosophy can help us reason our way out of this situation. Is death bad? Well, you might say that someone dying is bad, because they're not around anymore. That person was there, and now they're not. But I don't think this is actually the key to the badness here. Let me hit you with this thought experiment. Let's say your best friend in the whole world is this guy George. George spent years studying astrophysics,
Holy
and he's
shit.
about to go on an expedition to the Andromeda Galaxy to do research there for the rest of his life.
Andromeda Galaxy.
You can't follow him there, and once he leaves, there will be no way to communicate with him ever again. That's a bit of a bummer. But now, let's say that instead of leaving, the
Would y'all abandon your life on Earth to explore a new galaxy? Just out of curiosity. Cause me personally, fuck no. Yeah, fuck no. Could you imagine? Hey, so we have this offer for you. You know, you'll have freeze dried food because you know you gotta last a long time. Freeze dried food, packaged water, and we're gonna send you to another galaxy that we need you to explore. Find a habitable planet, and then send a message that it's habitable. What would be the point? What would we need to make it possible to travel to a different galaxy? Hold on, I want to search that up real quick. What would we need to travel? Dude, let me get out of caps. Advanced propulsion technology develop faster than light travel methods, such as warp drives and wormholes. So we would have to be able to control wormholes, which is like crazy to even think being like that's that's not fucking possible.
rocket George is taking explodes immediately
Oh fuck, not George!
after launching, killing him instantly.
Dude, that's so fucked. Oh my god! Could you imagine agreeing to leaving your life behind, leaving every worldly desire behind because you are no longer on the world? You get into space, you have accepted it. You may be emotional, but you accepted it, and then your ship blows up. Bro, that's so fucked. Oh my god. Well, I'd be dead. But if I wasn't dead, I'd lose my fucking mind.
The outcome is the
All the time they jump back down to Earth.
same from your
Dude.
perspective. George is gone, and you'll never see him again. But the situation where the rocket explodes definitely seems worse. So the issue isn't just that George isn't around anymore. There's something important about the fact that George died. Okay, so instead of thinking about George, let's think about me.
Okay.
Death is bad because I won't exist anymore. And personally, I really like existing. Existing is pretty epic. Is it bad for me, though? When I'm dead, I won't exist. So who would it be bad for?
Others.
It's easy to think that when we die, we enter into a kind of blackness, or void, and we place ourselves into it. It's as if we sink into this pit of nothingness, and we're trapped there forever. We end up in this strange realm, with no thoughts, no sensations, no experience, and this is something that we somehow witness for eternity. But this doesn't really make sense. This is reifying nothingness.
Reifying.
The comedian Norm
What the
Macdonald
hell?
once said,
Guys, I don't know what that shit
And then I
means.
came to a realization that you and death will never intersect. As long as you're here, death is not. As long as death is there, you are not.
Yeah, but since you
That's a fucking bar! What? So long as you are here, death is not. So long as death is there, you are not. Holy shit! But that just proved the point. Us caring about the fact that George died, even though George was gonna get sent to a fucking another galaxy, is like, yeah, bro. Guys, death has meaning, guys. Your life is important, I promise you.
know it's coming,
Oh, but you don't want that.
Who the fuck is this guy?
he got this idea from the Greek philosopher Epicurus, who had a similar quote. So death, the most terrifying of ills, is nothing to us, since so long as we exist, death is not with us. But when death comes, then we do not exist. It does not concern either the living or the dead, since for the former it is not, and for the latter are no more.
Dude, that's so fucking hard!
Okay, but does it actually have to be bad for me for it to still be bad?
In-
Things can be bad in different
Yeah,
ways.
that's cool.
Putting my hand on a hot
Don't
stove
know
is
this
bad because I'm experiencing the pain and the
Bro,
bad.
that quite a lot sometimes. Same, bro. I be think like sometimes it does become very overwhelming, and you know I'm human. So you know when I get overwhelmed with like thinking about the fact that life is finite, sometimes I panic. It's not like a panic attack. It's not like a panic attack, but it's just like impending doom. I'm going to die. Ah! You know, like it's scary, but you know it also like what the hell? Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something on my floor. It also just helps me realize that you only got one life, bruh. It helps me also do things. As much as it scares me, as much as it helps me do things. Because I only got one life, and like how I choose to live it will be how I experience life. Like that sounds stupid, but how I choose to live my life is how my life experiences will be. That sounds like that may sound stupid to some people, but it makes so much sense to me, and it helps me like really grasp at that idea. Because sometimes it feels like I'm watching my life go by, but like I'm not watching it, guys. It's everything I'm doing.
Badness
We
directly.
know. All right,
Burning
bro.
my hand
All
is
right, bro.
immediately and intrinsically bad. But let's consider a different scenario. Let's say I spend my evening scrolling TikTok. The whole time I'm mildly entertained. It's a neutral experience. But
I hate how much I scroll TikTok.
what if my friends had also invited
It's okay.
me out that
I'm
night?
human.
I was scrolling TikTok alone in my
always
room
improve.
instead of cracking a few cold ones with the boys, which would have been way more fun. That time I spent scrolling wasn't intrinsically bad, but it was bad compared to what I could have been doing instead. This example illustrates the deprivation account of why death might be bad.
Balls
Not
in
existing
my
isn't
boomer,
bad
what?
in an inherent way, but it's bad compared to all the fun, meaningful experiences I could have if I continued to exist. Okay, but let's take this non-existing thing a little further. What if I never existed in the first place?
Oh shit.
Would this be bad? Well, it seems bad for me because I do exist now, but this runs into some major problems. Think about all the possible people that could exist. Let's look at our current generation right now.
Oh my
Let's say
God.
there are about 5
Time
billion
lapses of
people,
people
who could
walking is so
reproduce,
crazy.
half men and half women. Each man could technically create
Damn! Yo, man, I'm so sorry, dude. I know that feeling. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Bro said summarize it, bro. Yo, if I was young, man, I don't want to slap the shit out you for saying that, dude. I just deleted my whole fucking paragraph. Summarize it. I literally was.
a new person with each woman. And beyond that, every single egg-sperm combination of each
Sperm.
of those pairs would also create a different person. If a different sperm
crazy to
won the
think.
race, I wouldn't be the same person I am now.
You
I
wouldn't
would
be you because it wasn't you that won the race. Crazy to think about, but you just not exist. Dude, everybody is so lucky to exist, and I don't think enough people realize that skill issue. Yo, man.
My
All
sibling.
right.
As a rough calculation, that's 2.5 billion women times 30 years of reproduction times 12
Wait, what the
eggs
hell? Guys, I
times
lost the plot. What the fuck? Where do we come to doing math for?
of those pairs would also create a different person.
Okay.
If a different sperm won the race, I wouldn't be the same person I am now.
Okay.
I would be my sibling.
Yeah.
As a rough calculation, that's 2.5 billion women times 30 years of reproduction times 12 eggs times 2.5 billion men times 50 years of reproduction times a
Are we saying the
conservative
chance of you specifically
365
being born?
ejaculations per year
Hey!
times about 40 million sperm per ejaculation. That works out to this number, 15 with 32 zeros. And this is still only a tiny fraction. All of those potential people could also have children with each other. This could go on for potential generation after potential generation. If the deprivation account is true, you have to feel sorry for this infinite amount
Sorry.
of people who never got the chance to exist.
Damn.
That seems like a bit too much emotional
It's
labor for
crazy.
me.
Crazy thing about
Okay,
guys.
but we can just
Let's not even talk
fix
about
this
bro.
by adjusting the
And then
deprivation
spin
account a
saying,
little
all
bit.
right.
Instead of a deprivation of life, it's a deprivation of a life that actually existed at some point. This seems to have filled the hole I just poked in the argument. But there's still a problem. The section of time after your death isn't the only section of time you don't exist. You also don't exist before you're born. But
Hold on. He has a point. You do not exist before you're born. Let's see where he's going with this.
who really cares about that? If you told me that I'm only going to live to age 50, I would be bummed out, and I would wish that I could live longer. But I don't wish that I was born 50 years earlier.
Mhm.
We seem to care more about existing in the future than existing in the past.
Hmm?
So to sum things up, non-existence after death is a complicated issue. Personally, I'm sympathetic to the deprivation account. I like existing a lot, but this is also the perspective of a guy who exists, which is definitely biased. I'll put nothingness in B tier.
So what he's saying is we can't get a straightforward answer because the people who don't exist can't give their opinion. Mid-ending. It's not the bad, not the good. It's a mid-ending. Just nothing. It's quoting Verdi. Heaven. This got to be like top tier, right?
Ranking heaven in a video like
This Chug
this
Media.
is a
No,
little
after this, we're
tricky.
watching the YouTube.
Religions
We're
that
watching
describe
the
a
X's
heavenly
video.
realm are usually pretty
They're
vague
playing
about
Doki
what
Doki
it's
Literature
actually
Club.
like there. It's described as this perfect, beautiful place with no pain and suffering, where we can live in bliss and worship God for eternity. But is this kind of immortality something we actually want? The deprivation account might say yes. Not existing is bad, because you'll miss all the fun. So if
I
we
fucking
live
hate you, I'm
forever,
so sorry. I
that
don't
would
mean
be
to be
ideal.
hated.
Well, not exactly. At a certain point, there might not actually be anything interesting for existence to give you. You wouldn't be deprived of anything. Imagine a classic idea of heaven. We all turn into angels and spend eternity singing psalms together or something. Singing psalms is probably pretty fun to do for a while, but doing that for all of eternity seems a little excessive. What kind of life would be worth living forever? This isn't
Do you think if when you like, let's say heaven does exist, when you get into heaven, you just enjoy everything that heaven provides automatically, or do you think you still have your? Well, no way you would still have your earthly like wants. No way, that wouldn't make sense.
This isn't just 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, or 1,000,000,000 years. This existence has
Alrighty.
no end.
We don't fear death. We fear what happens after death. I completely agree. But why? Because the worst that could happen, the worst thing that could happen after death is just non-existence. Non-existence. I mean, I could kind of explain why I fear it, but I can't explain why everybody fears it. Why is it natural to fear non-existence when we technically never experienced non-existence, but we know we never existed at one point? Hell is the worst possibility because it is the worst pain you've ever. You know what? That's fair. You know what? Maybe nothingness is not the worst. You know what? Maybe I was. NPC, you're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking.
There are some things I love doing.
Hell's literally
Eating
on this
random
list, by
Vindaloo,
the way.
solving Minesweeper puzzles, listening to Beach House, whatever. But after the first
Dude, how do you play
100,000 years
Minesweeper?
of doing that, it would probably
What the fuck
get a
is
bit stale.
Minesweeper?
Okay, well, let's say you take a different approach.
Am I
and
LARPing
you try to make
Megatron
the
by not
most of
knowing
your
that shit?
time. You spend 1,000 years writing novels, 1,000 years painting. You learn how to play every single instrument at an expert level. You will always run out of things to do. At some point, you will have done it all. You might be able to fix this problem with some kind of amnesia system. Let's say you get bored after about 1,000 years of doing stuff. At this point, you start to lose your memories and forget what you did a few hundred years ago. By the time you're at 2 billion years, you could barely remember what you spent your time doing as a young 100 million year old angel. At this point, you've changed completely. You have different tastes, a different personality.
If I ever lose my memory, first thing I need to be told to me, rewatch Naruto, bro. Oh my god! Guys, the feeling of watching Naruto for the first time was so generous. Oh my god, guys. That shit was so fucking peak. If you're ever losing your memory, I'm telling you first thing to hate Naruto and love Overflow. You disgust me. Let's get back to the video.
And you spend your time doing things that you wouldn't imagine doing before. But is this really worth it? There is continuity between the young Angel me and the old Angel me, but is it still really me? I don't even remember the previous me existing at all.
In heaven, though, would you even lose your memory? No way amnesia is or growing old and losing past memories is a thing in heaven. You probably just remember everything. Like, obviously not the perfect, you're not perfect, but like you're probably like more perfect than a human. Are angels perfect? Are angels perfect beings, or is that only a Jesus thing? Guys, I'm sorry, I'm uneducated. Assuming though angels do dwell in his presence, we can't assume that the holy angels are indeed perfect. Angels are perfect. Okay. I'm pretty sure everything in heaven is perfect. That's what I thought. I just had to confirm because, guys. I'm not perfect. I can't say I know everything about religion. So but people do not give a fuck. If you fuck up on any information on anybody's religion, they will let you know. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
My personality is totally different too.
Without insulting
and I'm probably hanging out with different angel friends. I don't think I'd want something like this. Alright, but instead of having to try to do interesting things or entertain yourself, you just experience complete bliss for eternity. Maximum pleasure. This seems appealing at first, but it also reminds me of something. There was a study where they attached electrodes to a rat's brain that released an intense burst of pleasure. They hooked this up to a button that the rat could press whenever it wanted. As you might expect, the rat just sat there pressing the button over and over.
Fucking robotically just embodiment of a chud. Just it's like rotting. It's like bed rotting, just doing nothing but when I say self pleasure, I don't mean like crazy. I just mean like pressing this button
until it dies.
Self dopamine.
But I'm not a rat. I'm a human. And it might sound arrogant, but I somehow feel like I'm above that kind of thing.
Look what I said.
I'd probably really
technically we are a family due to Adam and Eve, yeah.
Enjoy the intense bliss for the first few thousand years. But then I'd start to think to myself, is this all there is? Okay, so here's a heaven I think would actually be desirable. You can hang out there as long as you want, but the door is open.
What I said.
Once you're satisfied.
Death is only scary because we actually don't want to stop living. Sure, people, when they come back after CPR, it was like the best time to wait. It was the best time, but after they fully. What the hell? Hold on. Oh, you're talking about when some people say, "Oh, I've been to heaven," when they like die, when their heart stops and they say, "Oh, I was in heaven." Guys, I do not believe people when they say that. I don't believe any account that's true. I don't believe any account of someone saying I was in heaven is true. I think it's all false. I think all the claims are false. There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe it. Holy shit.
With all the things you've done, you can peace out. This scenario seems pretty good. The problem is we don't really know which of these situations heaven would actually be, and some of these cases are just totally made up to fix the boredom problem. I think the standard understanding of heaven is just that you live forever in a perfect place. If that's the type of heaven we're working with, I'm not a huge fan. C tier. Inferno, the first part of Dante's Divine Comedy, is probably the most famous depiction of hell. It has 9 circles, filled with horrible punishments like boiling in pools of blood or being submerged in frozen lakes. Even Buddhism has different types of hells with intricate punishments, like the realm of the hungry ghosts. There are a lot of different depictions of what hell would actually be like, so I won't spend too much time on the details here. At least in the biblical tradition, it's important to understand that hell is a very complicated issue. From what I gather, a lot of the colloquial understanding of hell comes from...
I love everything about you. Excuse me? I love Unkster Star.
medieval art and literature and isn't actually directly based on anything the Bible says.
You ever sat down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Some people believe that
Really?
when the Bible says eternal fire, it might not necessarily mean
Really?
eternal torment.
No way.
It could be that you had a soul, but it gets destroyed if you're a sinner. That would make this situation similar to nothingness. You don't experience suffering for eternity. You're just denied entry into the afterlife. But for this video, I'll consider the most common interpretation of hell. Some kind of eternal suffering. If that's hell, I don't think my placement here will be particularly surprising. It's safe to say that suffering is bad. It's like burning my hand on a hot stove, like I mentioned earlier. We have an immediate, absolute aversion to the conscious experience of
Shit
suffering.
ending!
It's a fundamentally negative state of being. And not only does suffering suck, but our damnation would, in fact, be eternal. When I talked about heaven, I came to the conclusion that immortality itself comes with downsides, even if you're free to do whatever you want, or experience
Dude, Yelmet's hell is constantly typing out paragraphs just for it to delete before you send it. Oh shit! Where's my phone? Let me type out this message. Super important. I care about this message so much. Fuck! Delete it! Oh shit! I gotta type this message. Genuinely for eternity. Holy shit! That's W hell? No, it's not.
hence bliss. Here,
I mean, it's probably
all
more.
the
It's
bad
probably
things
better than
about
like actual
eternity
torture,
are
but like
combined with a
you're
constant state of
internally like
suffering.
doing the
Bottom
same
tier.
thing. Bottom tier. Oh, I'm so interested about Ghost, dude. But like, we gotta get to XT's video, guys. We're already an hour in, and I'm gonna like, dude. That whole first of all, W video, Duncan Clark, Holy Peak. I'm gonna subscribe to you, bro. But yeah, W video. Let's get to XT's video, and that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't have an outro made yet. I gotta figure out how to make an animation, how to get a sound that's not copyrighted. There's things you guys gotta figure out as a creator. But for now, you getting me. Recording after finishing the video, me. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day if you enjoyed the video. Consider dropping a like and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video. Check out the Twitch. Adios!